Okay, so welcome to this desktop tour for the ConvertKit email marketing platform. It's the email marketing platform that I use in my own business. It's the one I recommend you use in yours too. When you navigate to ConvertKit.com, this is what you'll see when you get there. If you look at pricing to start with, I can show you the different plans that are available. So we've got 3 plans to choose from: Free, Creator, and Creator Pro. When you sign up for a new account, a free account, you'll get 14 days free access to the premium features. So my recommendation is get a free account to start with, use it for a couple of weeks, including the premium features, and then you can decide which plan you want. For the moment, I would suggest that you don't need the Creator Pro plan, but I think you probably will want the Creator plan, which is the one that I recommend to most people like you. 2 of the features you get in the Creator plan that you don't get in the free one that you will want is this one here: automated email sequences and visual automation builders. Those 2 for me makes the investment of the $9 a month or the $15 a month if you do it monthly worthwhile, because it lets you automate the bulk of your email marketing system. So that's kind of options that you have to start with. Like I say, you can sign up free up here, clicking on that button, and get a free account for yourself. And when you do, you'll get you'll get access to the premium features. Now, I'm also not going to do this because I've already got an account, so I'm just going to log into my ConvertKit account. So I've got a few accounts. This one will be a demo account that I'm logging into, and I'm just going to click login. It'll ask me for a code, an authentication code. I've set up what's called 2-form authentication, so that I need to use an authenticator app in conjunction with this. You don't need to do that, but it's something that I would recommend, and I'll show you in a future module how you can do that if you want. So this is us now logged into the ConvertKit dashboard, and there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in the screen here. First thing I'll say is this is a demo account, so all the emails, the addresses, the subscriber details you see in here are all purely fictitious. They're just made up by me purely for demonstration purposes. So when you first log in, you'll see the dashboard here. You'll get a snapshot of the revenue you've generated through ConvertKit, the number of subscribers you've signed up, the emails you sent out, the response rate, the click rate, all that type of stuff is what you would imagine at a dashboard level. So it kind of gives you a high level 1-page summary of how you've been performing with your email marketing. Email broadcasts. So in ConvertKit, just like most other email marketing platforms, there are 2 main types of emails you'll send out. One is broadcasts, and the other is sequences. Now, broadcasts are essentially one-off emails that you're going to send to either your list or a subset of your list as a one-off, and you're unlikely to use that email again. Contrast with sequences, which tends to be a series of emails that are configured in such a way that they'll be drip-fed to your subscribers in a sequence. I guess the clue's in the name, predetermined by how you configure it in ConvertKit. So, for example, you may have 7 emails going out over a period of a week, 1 being drip fed each day. That'd be an example of a sequence. But in this video, I'm going to focus on broadcasts. So if I click on broadcasts, on the top right, you see the button that says new broadcast. Now, what essentially this does is opens up an editor, a fresh editor, with effectively a blank canvas that you can start to type your email on. Once you're in there, you can basically write whatever you like, and you can also personalize the email by using the information that you've collected. So depending on what you've collected, you can use that inside your email. So as an example, I always collect first name. So if I click on that for personalization, I'll say add subscriber's first name. Okay, so in this email, if I send it out to 1,000 people who have 1,000 different names, instead of saying hi there or hi friend, it'll actually say the name. Hi John, hi Susan, hi Peter, hi whoever, their first name. So you're personalising it for them. Then you've got the option of adding in, as much text as you like, free text, or any other element by clicking on this little plus sign here. It pops up this little window here that allows you to pick the type of element you want to put onto your email, like just a paragraph for typing, a heading, a bullet list, number list, etc. You can add in things like buttons, products if you've got a product that you're selling via ConvertKit. You can put buttons in with links, so if you want to send someone to somewhere else on the internet, you can do that via links. Perhaps your social profiles, and then you get into content layouts. So you can add in structures, code snippets, dividers, etc. So you're making the video look, you're making the email look the way you want it to, and including the type of content that you want to have in it. So I'll just put some of these in at random to show you what it look like. Add a button in. I can let's see, I said download, make that left aligned rather than center. I can add in headings, so that new product coming soon. Let's save something like that. Images, you can either image that you uploaded or any other image you want. You can then change the size of the image. Clicking on it, you can make it much smaller. You can left align it. You can even make text wrap around it so that it's in line with the text. So you can do all sorts of things with it. You can put radiuses on it, show captions, put a link to a URL on there if you want to. Once you've done that, it'll take you to the next step and say continue. It's warning me that I haven't changed the subject. I could change it if I want to something like let's say some, and then it's asking me who I want to send this to, and it's got by default all the subscribers there. Obviously I might not want to send it to all subscribers, so I can then start to add in filters. So I could say only send it to the people who have filled in the form. Let's say it was that form there. Add the filter in. You can see it's down to 2 subscribers. Okay, so I can filter the number of subscribers that are going to receive that. Once I've done that, I can choose when to send it. By default it's send now, but I can get and schedule it for a future date if I want. And that's pretty much it. And you continue and it'll just say send, and it'll go out to those subscribers. So it's pretty standard stuff. There's not a lot to it. You just kind of create a broadcast and then send it to the people who you want to receive it, and ConvertKit will take care of the rest for you. Create a profile under the Grow menu, and you have got Creator Network. So I'll just briefly take you through these two. So create a profile, first of all, is think along the lines of a link tree type functionality. So people can come and get like links to maybe your social platforms or publishing platforms, wherever you want to send them, websites, etc. Under this link section, you can add in links. Products is the things that you sell through ConvertKit. I'll come on to that in a later module. And recommendations ties in with Creator Network. I'll explain what that is in a moment too. And the first one here is post. So when you write a new broadcast email, you can, if you want to, inside ConvertKit, you can make that a public broadcast, meaning that you can share it on public platforms like this one, or your website, or any other place you want to share it with, share it on. And then people can sign up to your list here using the subscribe option, so that they get access to whatever you put out via email. So this is a demo account, so I haven't actually compiled this or completed it, but I'll show you one that I have for my my live site, which is this here. So this is my profile. All my posts that I've made public, you can see them, they all appear here. People can click on them and they can go in and read them if they want to do that. And then you can go back and you can see the links. So I've got different links in there. I can send people to the products that I sell. People can come in here and just click on it and buy it. And then recommendations in here is subscribers that I recommend to my subscribers when they sign up to my email list. So what I'll do is I'll put my email in here as an example and add that. I'll just say it pops up and says thanks for subscribing. By the way, while you're here, these are fellow creators that I follow and you should too. So in essence, I'm promoting the profiles of these 4 content creators to my audience. So if they leave all those selected and they subscribe, then what they do is they join their email list as well as mine. And so the opposite of that is true too. So people who recommend me, when people sign up to their list, they've got the option of subscribing to my list too. So it's it's a way of sharing each other's network and getting more signups. So you can set that up inside ConvertKit if you want to as well. And that's known as the creator network. So think of creator profile as like almost your Linktree bio, if you like, with lots of links and lots of posts that people can access in there. And then if they subscribe to your email list and you happen to be part of the creator network, which you can be when you sign up to ConvertKit, then you could be taking advantage of other people's subscribers by joining the program and you recommending them. And you don't necessarily need to recommend each other, by the way. You know, in fact, the opposite is more often true than not. The people I recommend are not recommending me, and that proliferates across the creator program. So yeah, in essence, that's what it is. It's the ability to grow your email list, your subscriber list, using both your profile and sharing that across the creator network. Okay, so in ConvertKit, just like any other email marketing platform, there's 2 ways in which to collect email subscribers' details. One is through an opt-in form and one is a landing page. I'll just show you quickly what they look like. So clicking on Grow, landing pages and forms takes you into this. You got a red button there that says Create New. Click on that and you get 2 options. So a form or a landing page. Now the main difference is an opt-in form is typically what you would see on a website that says leave your email and your first name here. Click the button and you'll get the thing that you're asking for. A landing page is a bit more like a web page, so there's lots of things on it potentially, like information about the thing that you're giving away. It could be any number of things, assets like images, videos, text. But one of the elements on the landing page is the actual opt-in form as well. So the opt-in form here on the left is almost like a subset of the landing page on the right. So let's click on landing page. I'll just show you quickly an example of one. So ConvertKit, like most other systems, gives you a bunch of templates to choose from. Pick whichever one you want that looks most like the thing you want to use in your business. Let's see this one here. So in here you can see that everything on this page is what the visitor will see if you share the link with them. And once you're on the page in here, if you just click on the element, whatever one you're interested in, on the right hand side over here you get the opportunity to change or to edit that. So that's that image there. I can replace that with another image if I want to. Let's say I go to Unsplash. Let's say I want to choose that one. And it obviously changes the image. You can also upload your own images, make it look and feel, like I say, the way you want it to look. I would delete that one. I don't collect last name. And you can change all the text to whatever you want it to be. Once you're happy with the landing page, you've got it looking the way you want it to look, up the top here is a publish button. If you click on that, it gives you in here a link, that one there, that if you share that with someone, I'll click copy there. If you share that link with someone, they'll be taken straight to this page that you've just created. So I'll just show you an example of doing that. So if I paste in here that URL, you can see it's taken to that. And then if I put in my first name and email address and say sign up, that would add them to my email marketing list. So that's kind of it for a landing page. And then an opt-in form is much more simple than that again. It's literally just the form, just the details you're collecting. And there's 4 different types. You got inline, modal, slide-in, and sticky bar. So it's just your preference what you want to do. The most common one is the inline one that you're going to put on your website potentially. Let's pick that one. And in essence, that's exactly what would appear on your website. Now I can click on another one here and say I want to add in first name. So I've got first name and email address. And then what I can do then is get ConvertKit to give me the embed code that I can then use to embed on my website. So if I say publish again, in here you can see there's a number of ways of embedding it, either through JavaScript and just click copy, or HTML. I can share it via a link, I can embed it in WordPress, or I can embed it using Unbounce. Now, if all this stuff is completely meaningless to you and someone else takes care of your tech stuff, don't worry about it. The simplest way is just to copy that. If you've got a tech person, send it to them and ask them to embed it in your website. And in essence, it would appear like that inside your web page. Just to give an example of that, on my website, embedded forms on my website, you can see one here. If I click on this free 7-day crash course, this here is effectively an embedded opt-in form that I've taken from ConvertKit and put in my website. Now, for all intents and purposes, when people arrive here, they don't know it's not part of my website. They just think it is, but it's actually embedded code. It's this embedded code here that I'm using on my website. So that's a quick overview of opt-in forms and landing pages. Okay, so let's look at subscribers. So these are fundamental to your email marketing system. That's the whole premise that email marketing is based on, is collecting email subscribers. So if you click on grow and then into subscribers, what you'll see in here is all the subscribers that have added themselves to your email list. Excuse me, there's not many in here, as you can see, because it's a demo account, but you can imagine if you had a live account, you would see potentially hundreds or even thousands of email addresses stored in here. The first thing you'll probably notice is this graph across the top here. This is telling you, giving you a sort of high level view of the activity around your subscribers. You would see this green bar saying that you've got new subscribers, and you would see a grey bar showing a negative number down here if you had people who unsubscribed from your email list. So it's like a kind of net figure of how you're doing on your email marketing. Again, another bit of a snapshot here, the last 90 days figures, and then you get down into the list of subscribers. There are a few different statuses of subscribers, so I'll just go through them one at a time. Confirmed means that someone has confirmed that the email address they've entered is the correct email address, providing you use the right type of opt-in policy. And again, I'll explain more of that in a future module. But basically, people who have confirmed themselves as subscribers will be flagged as such. Unconfirmed subscribers means that someone is signed up to your email list, but they haven't gone in and clicked on the please confirm this is your email address button. Cancelled subscribers, self-explanatory, they've unsubscribed from your list. Complained subscribers, so if you've ever seen a screen that says when you're unsubscribing from a list, it says why did you unsubscribe, and you say I never asked for this, it's spam or whatever, that would be deemed to be a complained subscriber. Bounced subscribers are email subscribers who, for whatever reason, you're unable to deliver email into their inbox. Now, there's 2 different types, soft bounces and hard bounces. Soft bounces would typically be things like the subscriber's email box was full or temporarily unavailable, so they couldn't deliver the email to them. Whereas a hard bounce is more final. It's like, this email no longer exists, so don't even bother trying to send it again. Blocked subscribers they are subscribers that you have blocked. So let's say someone joins your list, they make a pain of themselves, they just become a pest, and you want to stop them from joining your list at any point in the future. You can block them, and providing they use the same email address, they'll be told they can't join the list. And then the final one is cold subscribers. Now, these are subscribers that you don't want to have on your email list because they affect your overall email deliverability. Cold subscribers are those who, they're on your list and you keep sending them emails, but they never ever engage with you. They don't open them, they don't click on links. They're basically just cold. Now, the definition of cold on ConvertKit's platform is email subscribers who have not engaged in any way for a period of 60 days. unless they've been with you for less than 90 days, in which case that that frame of reference drops down to 30 days. So in essence, just it's subscribers who are not engaged with you. If you have any like that on your list, my advice is to either re-engage them using a re-engagement campaign, or to unsubscribe them from your list, because you don't want them on there if they're not going to engage with you. And then down here we can see the list of subscribers. If we click on any subscriber we choose, let's take this one at the top, we then start to see the detail associated with that particular subscriber. So this is now down to a single subscriber level. We can see a bunch of stuff down here about information we've collected about them, and we've got these things called tags, and again in a future module I'll explain what tags are, but in essence they are attributes of that subscriber. Up here we can see the emails we've sent them, the automations that they've been part of in our system, the sequences they've joined, the forms that they may or may not have filled in, and any purchases that they've bought whilst being part of your email marketing system. And we go back to the list of subscribers. Again, down the right hand side we can see here things called segments and tags. Now what segments and tags are? Tags are effectively attributes of subscribers, so things that people could be interested in, or things about them or their business that we might be interested to know about, and it allows us to personalize the content that we send to them. So okay, again in a future module I'll explain more about those in depth, but in essence just know that we can tag our subscribers, and we should be, and we can then put them into segments that we can then share certain content with certain segments, rather than just blasting everything to everyone, which is very ineffective. We've got this here, manage subscriber preferences, and in ConvertKit we've got this notion of topics of interest. So you can see here I've got examples of the types of things that I talk about in my emails: email marketing, business strategies for solopreneurs, ConvertKit specifically the platform, and then business news, just news items about different. So these are the types of things I talk to, but not everybody on my list will be interested in all 4 topics. So what this allows them to do is opt in and out of the things that they're either interested in or not, and then internally I can then direct the content that they want to see, rather than just sending them everything. So you can add up to 10 topics of interest in your email marketing platform. So that's kind of it for subscribers. At a high level, that's what they are. They they are people who have subscribed to your list, and it's once they're on there, it's your job to then nurture the relationship with those subscribers, so that at some point in the future they will become paying clients inside your business. Okay, so now we're getting into one of the most powerful features of ConvertKit, visual automations. So if you click on automate and visual automations, I'll go and I'll create a new one from blank. If I click new automation, you can see there's a bunch of templates down here that I can use, which are great, but I won't do that. I'll use a blank one from scratch so that you can see the kind of things you can do with it. Now, what a visual automation does, I guess the clue's in the name, but it automates a lot of steps that we can put into our process. So if we get, let's say we have someone who joins our list as a subscriber, we can configure ConvertKit so that when they join, we automatically send them the thing they asked for. Let's say it was a downloadable PDF document. We can then put them into, we can send them a welcome email. We can then put them into an email sequence to say, here's even more valuable information on that thing that you asked for. We can drip feed that in. We can look to see, did they open the emails? Did they not open the emails? We can tag them. We can make, add some attributes to the profile to say they clicked on this link or they clicked on that link. There's a whole bunch of stuff we can do basically in a visual automation. So it's really, really, really powerful. You can start to build in conditional logic. So it means that if they clicked on this thing, then put them down this route. If they clicked on that one, put them down this route. So the trigger point for firing off one of these automations is always one of these 4 things. So they either join a form, add it to a tag, a custom field, or they make a purchase. So I'm going to take join a form as an example, and let's say it was this 7-day crash course. I'll add that event. So what we've got here is anybody who joins this, and let's call this demo automation, just so we can see we're referring to it. Everybody who fills in that 7-day crash course opt-in form will be added to this automation, okay? And then we can do anything we want after that. So we'll say as soon as they join that, I want you to add a tag to say they now be tagged as someone who's, has done or has asked for the 7-day crash course. We then do the next step in the process, and we say we're going to add them to an email sequence. So let's say which email sequence, and we'll say this one, the 7-day crash course. They then will be drip fed all the emails that exist inside that sequence. And if I want to see what they are, just click on it, pops out here, and then down the right hand side you can see all the emails that are in that sequence. Okay, so they'll be drip fed those in the using the times that I've set up here. So that one's there 1 day after, that one's a day after, that one's a day after. So for 7 days they get 7 emails. After they leave that, I can then do something else. I can start to put in maybe conditional logic. I can say if they have this tag. So if they have, let's say they're an accountant, I'll add that condition. Are they an accountant? Yes, we'll put them down that way and add them to a particular sequence. Let's say it was evergreen sequence 1. And if they're not, then I can choose a different sequence for them. I can say add them to evergreen sequence 2 as an example. Okay. So hopefully you start to see the power that's in this, and it's very, very easy to follow, and it's very, very easy to use. It's literally you're clicking on it with the mouse just to add in the different steps in the process. And once you've got that saved, that automation can run hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of times for every subscriber that flows through that automation. So really, really powerful. Once you've done your first one, you'll start to come up with lots of ideas about how you can use automation in your business. But it's one of the features that you get in the paid plan in ConvertKit, and it's one that I highly recommend you use inside your email marketing system. Okay, so ConvertKit allows you to create something called snippets. So under the send menu, if you get into snippets, we click there, we can see I've got a couple of test ones, a few test ones sitting here. In essence, what a snippet is, it allows you to create a block of content that you want to include in your emails, and it allows you to do so using just a simple line of code. So I'll show you an example here. So this 60-minute strategy. So I've put all this stuff in here in this snippet. But rather than having to copy and paste or type all this into every email I want to put it into, I can do it in a much simpler way. So if I can create an email, let's say I'm going to send a broadcast to my list, I'll open that up and I'll start to type in there, hi, subscriber name, just all the usual stuff that I would do in an email. And then I might type, a bunch of stuff in here, maybe more stuff in here, and then I'm going to say I'm going to insert the offer that I want to make them, or the chunk of code that I created using the snippet in here. So if I click on the plus sign, and if I scroll down, you'll see it's listed in here, just there under content as a snippet. So it's reusable content, and it gives me the list of snippets that I've already created. This 60-minute strategy one, and bang, it's in the email. So it's a really, really powerful way of creating content once that you can reuse multiple times in as many emails as you like. And when you send that email, that's the way it renders for the user. They get to see all that content, and they don't see the fact that you put it in as a snippet. It just looks like an ordinary email. So I guess you're limited only by your imagination of what you can use snippets for, but it's a very, very powerful feature that you can use in your emails, both your broadcasts and your sequence of emails inside ConvertKit. Okay, so email templates. If we click on send and into email templates option here, so you'll see here listed just the templates that I created on this demo account, and you can ignore those for the moment. If you want to create a new template, click on the button up here that says click email template, and then what you'll see is a list of all the templates that ConvertKit provides that you can start to generate emails from. If you see one that you like, you simply click on it. So let's say I wanted, let's say this one here, hello click on that, and ConvertKit will then open it up and allow me to then start typing into this template. I can change some of the aspects of it if I want to. I can change the text that's in it to something that's meaningful to me. But in essence, what it means is that every time I start an email, let's say I was going to create, let's say, weekly newsletter as an example. So I'm going to call it the weekly newsletter template. And let's say I'll put in weekly newsletter in here. And if I save that, okay, and then I want to create let's say every Friday I create a newsletter. If I go to send and then broadcast, then what I can do is I can say a new broadcast, and it'll say which template you're going to use, and I can browse the templates over here, and I can pick the one that I chose from that list. So in here you can see it's called weekly newsletter. Replace my content, and that's fine. So now you can see I'm starting to use that template inside my email rather than something else, and it just gives me that element of consistency. So and it saves me the hassle of making the email look and feel the same way every time I write it. So like I say, you get into ConvertKit, have a play around with the templates. There's lots to choose from. Once you're happy the way you've got it, just click save, and then it means every time you're going to create an email, you just use that same template, and all you're doing at that point is adding the actual body of the email rather than worrying about the look and feel of it. Okay, so now I'm going to look at email sequences. So under the send menu into sequences, and I've got a bunch in here as demos, but in essence, if you're going to create a new sequence, click on the button there, pick the template that you want to use, and what ConvertKit does is it launches into this editor on the main screen, and to the right it gives you the list of emails that you've created for this sequence so far. So you can see at the moment I've got one email in the sequence. If I want to add a second one, I just click on add email, adds another one in, add email, let's go for another one, let's add email. So you can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 emails. Just like in the broadcast emails, I can add in here whatever I like when it comes to the content of the email. If I go to the first email, you can see I've got up here the option to send it after 0 days, and that means immediately. Okay, so whatever I have in that email, that would go straight out as soon as someone subscribed to this sequence. That would be sent out. Then if I go to the second email, I could say send that one, let's say 2 days after the first one. The next one I could say send that, let's say a day. The next one I could send that, let's say 3 days after. So you get the gist. You can configure these however you choose it, and then effectively what you end up with is a sequence here that goes out 2, 3, 6 over a week. You've got 5 emails going out over 7 days. And when people join that sequence, they'll get drip fed those emails in that order. You can also change the ordering of the emails. Let's say you wanted that one here that's in the fourth one. You want to swap that with the one that's in third. Just switch it around, and then remember to click the save order button here. That will save the new order. Now, when you're creating the sequence, it's always in draft mode until you hit the publish button. You can see up here it's got the publish switch off. If I was to click that, it would say all changes are published now. So that's all the emails that are live would now be published, and they would start to be sent to the subscribers who had joined that sequence. And that's kind of inside each email. You can, if you click on up here, you've got emails and styles. If you click on the styles, you can start to you can start to edit the stuff that's in here. So let's say I add an image. So if I scroll down to images and choose that image, then on the right hand side you can see I can start to manipulate that image and do things with it. So I can add in a URL. I can change the size of it. All kind of stuff I showed you in the broadcast emails. You can do that inside these as well. So that's it. Once you've got the sequence set up, it appears as a sequence. in here, and you can see how many sequences you have just by looking at this list. Each sequence has a summary where it tells you how many emails. Let's say, for example, this one here's got 8-day sequence with 5 emails in it. And if I click on that and go into it, you would see the 5 emails on the right hand side, and if I click on that, I can see the content on the left hand side. So it's a very, very powerful tool. Obviously there's a lot of effort at the start creating the sequence, but once you've created it, you can have dozens, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of people going through the same sequence at different times. Whenever they sign up to that sequence, they'll then get drip fed in the same order, regardless of when they sign up. So that's email sequences inside ConvertKit. So if you decide you want to sell something via ConvertKit, you can do that too. So if you click on Earn and then get to Products, you can actually set up products, either digital products that people can access online, or they can download, or even recurring subscriptions to things like memberships or groups. You can set that up inside ConvertKit. If I go into this one here, this is an example of let's say the email marketing, Thursday Email Club. If I click on that, you can see in there that I've got it configured to charge £30 per month with a button that they can just click to join it. Now, what you can do is you can configure each of the 4 parts of this this commerce transaction, if you like. So you can put in there any image you like, in there any text you like. You can add in another, just much the same or similar to the way you can build an email, a broadcast email or a sequence email. You can add in other elements in here, okay, videos and all that type of stuff if you want to make it a bit more informative for the potential buyer. Once you've got it looking the way you want it to look, you can go to the checkout page. You can it's a bit limited what you can do there with regards to formatting, but you can add in things like upsells. So let's say you want to add an upsell of I don't actually have another one that's live on here, so I can't show you, but if you wanted to add an upsell, you could add it in there. It could be like a one-to-one session with you, and the confirmation that they will receive is pretty much standard, is what you see there. And then the receipt email, what they receive when they, what appears on that email receipt when they get it. Up in the settings up here, you can access much the same information in here via the settings button. You can alter the frequency to quarterly or annually, and you can even add in other pricing plans if you wanted to. Down here you can see the types of things that you can, the pricing methods you've got, just the standard pay one-time fee, the subscription, a payment plan, so you can break perhaps a bigger purchase into smaller payments, or you can ask the buyer just to name a price, whatever they're comfortable paying. You can apply discounts, so you can put a discount code in, and that would take them from the original price down to another price that you want to sell it for. And then finally, it's just about the URL for that, whatever URL you want to use. You can configure that all inside ConvertKit. So yeah, that's kind of it for products. You can just basically create as many products as you want, limited only by your imagination of what you think you can sell. And when the users click on it, the money arrives in your bank via the Stripe payment merchant, is what ConvertKit uses as their payment gateway. If you happen to run a blog post and you publish a blog post on your website, then this option inside ConvertKit might be of interest to you. So if you click on Automate and then go to RSS, I'll show you what it allows you to do. I'll click one here just as a demo. Now, it asks you for the feed, the URL for the feed. I have one in my live site, which this is the URL. Now, what it basically does is it will look for the blog post that I have published on that feed, and it can either take that and it can send it out in an email to my subscribers or a subset of them in an individual basis, so one per blog post. Or I can tell ConvertKit, no, actually what to do is bunch them up and only, and send out a digest of all my blog posts, let's say for the last month. I can choose, how I want to configure that. But once I put the feed in, and then I click on this preview button here, you can see that it goes away, it collects the data from my website, and it'll put it into an email. Now I can configure this to happen automatically if I want to, and it just, that little button up there, that little checkbox up there, I can say send it automatically, or I can choose to send it at a time of my liking. The two options up here, as I say, are single and digest. If I click on the digest, it will go away and it will pull back multiple feeds, multiple blog posts from my feed. You can see them all listed there, and then it'll send it out to my email list. So it's quite a powerful thing. It's probably a little bit more advanced if you're just getting started in ConvertKit, but it's something that's worth noting that it's there for use if it's something you want to do at some point in the future. So ConvertKit allows you to integrate it with many other platforms. I'm going to show you how you can do some of those right now. So by clicking on Automate and then into Integrations, you may or may not have some of these already, accounts for some of these in your business. If you do, then simply click on it and it will, you can then create the integration between that system and ConvertKit. Personally, I use, on my live site, I use WordPress. I've got that connected. I've got Stripe because that's my payment merchant, preferred payment merchant. But you can have any of these. Now, the one thing I will say is that you may have many systems that you want to integrate with ConvertKit that doesn't appear here. Now that's fine, because what you do have are third-party platforms that do the connection for you. One of them's mentioned here, Zapier. So, for example, if you don't have a native integration with ConvertKit, you can use Zapier to effectively collect data from one system and deliver it to another, because that's all an API really does, an application programming interface. If you integrate ConvertKit with, let's say you had, let's say Teachable, which is an LMS, a learning management system, and let's say you sold a course on Teachable, and you wanted to integrate Teachable with ConvertKit, so that every time someone purchased one of your courses, you collected their contact details and you fed that back to ConvertKit so that you could tag them appropriately to say what they'd purchased, what their email address is, all that type of stuff, so that you can then communicate with them. You could then drip feed sequences of emails to them based on the course they just bought. So you can do a whole bundle of stuff based on them having been connected and integrated in some way. So if it is something that you want to do, have a look in here to see what integrations are available via this platform. And if you can't find the one you're looking for, you can always use things like Zapier, or there's another one called Integrately. There's a number of them, but there's a few platforms out there to choose from in order to integrate the system that you want to communicate with ConvertKit. Another very useful feature inside ConvertKit is known as rules. So when you think of a rule, click on New Rule. It's basically, think on it as, if this thing happens, then do this thing. And we'll see down the left hand side here, there's a bunch of triggers that we can use inside ConvertKit, ranging from if someone subscribes to a sequence all the way down to purchases a product. So let's take a simple example. Let's say if you sent out an email and inside that email you have a link to something. Let's say it was a link to some sort of website that was of a particular interest, and they click on that link. So we can say if anybody clicks on that link, and we would name the link, something so that we can recognize it when we see it. And I'm going to use an example of Formula One. I like Formula One, right? Formula One racing. Formula One. And if I go to, say, formula1.com, use that as my URL, and then I could tag that user as someone who is interested in Formula One. So I'm going to say F1 tag. Okay. So I'm going to save that rule. Okay, and when I scroll down to the bottom, you'll see the rule there. So it says there, every time the rule's enabled now, every time someone clicks on that URL, if I put it inside an email, then I'll be tagged with the F1 tag. So I'll do a quick test. I'll send myself an email, a broadcast, and when that opens up, I'm just going to add in here a link. So you see this little link icon up here. If I click on that, And then this one here, if I click on that, it says add a link trigger. So I'm going to get that drop down. I'm going to put in that one there. Okay. So, and then I'm going to apply it. So now if someone clicks on that, I'll be able to see it. So I'm going to send this to myself. So forget that, continue to share. It says all subscribers. I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to add in just me. So if I say with email address, and I'm going to use my Hotmail account at hotmail.com, add filter, you can see it's down to 1 subscriber. So click that, click send broadcast, and ConvertKit will now go and send that email to my inbox. Now if I go my email and look for email that's just arrived, I can now see this has just made it into my inbox. So I can see that link up there. Now if we go momentarily go back to the subscribers list and look at my profile on my Hotmail account, if I click on it, go down and see that I don't have that tag associated with it. All I have is a GDPR email consent tag. So I'm now going to bring that email over, and if I now click on that link, it takes me to the link that I've got associated with it, which is the Formula One website. But now if I do a refresh on here and go back down to the bottom, you'll see I've now got the F1 tag. Okay, so that's now been assigned to my profile based on the fact that I clicked on it inside that link. So that's just one use of rules, but they're very, very powerful features that you can use inside ConvertKit. Once you've created your ConvertKit account, if you go into the top right here, it says your account name, and scroll down to where it says settings, click on there. Then you'll see a bunch of settings that are associated with your account, more than your actual emails or sequences, stuff like that. Login details, you can upload a profile picture. You've got the email that's associated with your account. You can set up multi-factor authentication. So when I log in, every time I log in, ConvertKit asks me for a unique code that I get via the Google Authenticator app that I use on my phone. It means that it's less likely that someone's going to be able to hack into my account. I can also do it via SMS if I want to set that up as well. Notifications, I can select which activities I want to be notified about and how often, either weekly or monthly. Some of the general settings in here is basically just about the business name, and then you can save your color palette if you want. This is quite useful for when you're creating your landing pages and your emails, etc. If you want to make quick reference to colors that you use on a regular basis, you can save them in here. Your email settings, so by default, this is the email I send out against. Default time zones, whatever time zone you happen to be in, you can set the default up here. Address settings, GDPR, all that type of stuff can be configured in there. The domains that associate with your account, so in this demo account I've got Made Really Simple as my default domain. Commerce, that's just like your what appears in people's bank statements, whether you want to collect VAT, all that type of stuff if you want. Your billing, that's just about your what you're paying ConvertKit. Team, if you've got team members, you can add team members on there. And then the last bit is just about API. So if you want to integrate with other systems, you'll be often asked for your API key and your secret API key. So you can get access to all that stuff in here. So that's kind of more the admin side of things of ConvertKit, and not so much about your email marketing system itself. If you find you are providing help, services, whatever for other people in a kind of more informal way, you're not actually invoicing them or charging them per se, ConvertKit offers a way of you collecting money by way of a tip jar, what they call a tip jar. So if you want to create a tip jar in ConvertKit, just click on Earn Tip Jars, click on Create a Tip Jar, give it a name. I'll call mine John's Tip Jar. Pick the currency you want to be paid in. I'm going to go for Great British Pounds. Create a tip jar, and that is literally it, like this, in a couple of clicks. So just replace that with some other text that's meaningful for you. Add in an image that makes sense. If I go into Unsplash and type the word jar, let's see what it brings back. Yeah. Let's see if I type in money jar. Type in money jar, comes back. Okay, so I might pick that one as my image for my tip jar. Choose an amount. You can, by default, you can say make it £10 or £5, £20 or other amount. Leave it at that, and send a tip. Inside the settings, you can associate the domain name or the tip jar name, and that's pretty much it. And then, much like the product, checkout looks like this, confirmation looks like that, and the receipt email looks something like that. So really simple to do, really easy to do. It's just a nice way, a convenient way of being able to send someone a link if they want to give you a tip. You know, you can include the link in your email, your website, whatever. People can easily leave an amount that they're comfortable leaving with you for, as a way of expressing their thanks and gratitude for you having helped them out.